Hello, beautiful beings. I was just doing some ironing and talking to the ancients about more about why is the flow different when I'm just recording a video versus talking to a real human being one on one? And they just keep repeating it's an energetic flow. And also they said just now, they said, you're not the only one that repeats yourself and forgets what you're saying. Just everybody else's videos that you watch, almost everybody, they edit their videos. You don't. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. That makes me feel really, really good. Okay, thank you. So a couple days ago, one reason I tell on myself is to just keep myself accountable, and because it's funny, and also because other people can relate to it. The other day, I see the man that I had a little bit of a romantic involvement with. I see him around here all the time, of course, because he lives here and he works here at the RV park. So a couple days ago, I see him laughing and talking to other people, but he won't. When he smiles at me, it's not even a smile. It's a grimace. I've watched a lot of like psychological profilers, and recently one came up and it said, when it's Lisa Boulay, is that how you say her name? Billy you? She's all about the warning signs about men, specifically for women. And this man was on there and he was showing the different kinds of smiles from psychopaths and sociopaths. And I was riveted. And the first one that he showed was the same exact one that this man shows me every single time I see him and he tries to smile. It's a grimace. There's no upturn to his mouth at all. It's down, but his lips are pursed and he pushes his lips to one side. Like, I want to say something, but I'm not going to. And it feels like contempt also. And sometimes it almost feels like disdain and disgust. Yeah, interesting. So I saw that and I was just like, God, there's that grimace again, whatever. And I caught myself thinking, why doesn't he smile at me? And even if it's a rhetorical question, oh, there he is right now. Yeah, speak of the devil. No, I'm just playing. Anyway, so even if it's a rhetorical question, the ancients answer it. And they, well, this was more of a comment. They were like, you really want him to pay attention to you? You really want him in your life? You should be grateful that he doesn't care about you, that he never did care about you. None of it was real. They really reminded me. They're not mean to me, but they were very firm about it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding us right now? Yeah, okay, well, it was just a thought. Well, I was entertaining it because it came in several times and I gave my full attention to it. But there was no emotions behind it. I was also reveling in that. How hooked in I was last summer. I was talking to the ancients about that today. Just a little while ago when I was walking Doozer. I said, well, was I fully unconscious? No, I wasn't. And I knew that I wasn't fully unconscious when I went through the lesson last summer, because I was aware that I was in a lesson. I was fully aware of it. And I was also fully aware that I was highly unconscious, that I was just full on following all the thoughts that were coming in. One reason was because it was all the thoughts that were coming in surrounding him were connected to such a intense physical feeling. And so it felt really good to think all these thoughts. But then, yeah, no, we didn't mesh well. And so I would get incredibly upset. And just it hurt just so physically much to feel that upset, because I was trying to track him. I was trying to track how he thinks, and I can't do that. See, even just talking about it just for a second, I start I no. So I'm glad that grateful, super grateful, the ancients were just like, just intercepted, just entertaining any thoughts about him at all. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, because somebody that, okay, here's a really good example. Well, and plus somebody that would hurt me, emotionally and physically, I don't want them in my life. I don't care if they like me. I don't care if they smile at me. That's 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 seeing life through Mama G's eyes now, because who I've shed, the persona, the conditioned persona that I shed, was very insecure, doubted herself, on and on. The opposite of who I am, who I truly am. Who I truly am is of course, all that is coming through this physical form. But in this physical form, this human expression, it's Mama G. And I would never disrespect myself. I would never see a beautiful man and think, well, I would do these things. I would think, he's trouble. He's really beautiful, but he's trouble. He would disrupt my peace. I was still in the place last summer where I was getting bored with peace, because my mind, and I just asked them, why is that? Are you kidding me? How could I possibly get bored with how I've been feeling for several weeks now in a row? How could I get bored with that? And they're saying, you weren't bored with that. You were getting bored with your idea, your mind's idea of peace. And also, if you are used to a certain amount of chaos in your life, I'm not anymore. But for a very, very long time, peace felt very uncomfortable to me. I wanted some drama. So that I've been shedding, just tons of that over the years. And so that's been one of the last things to go. Oh, my friend just messaged me. She lives and works here in the park too. Squirrel. Oh, my friend messaged me. Ancients, what was I just saying? Yeah, that's a good point too. They're saying, see, I get distracted when I'm recording videos, and some would call it ADHD. Whatever. I've always been that way. It's fine. But thank goodness there's just a perfectly beautiful flow when I'm interacting with somebody. And it's not the videos, but even recording this video just feels more relaxed than I ever have felt. Way less mind. I didn't realize I still had so much mind going, but I'm on guard about forgetting. And because even if I'm not using medical marijuana, I've noticed it. I've made mental notes, so I can slay any useless mental activity. That's what this is all for, because slaying all the useless mental activity unburies us from the rubble of said activity and reveals our pristineness in our natural state of being, and then our mind is in its natural state. I feel there's many different ways to remembering who we really are, and this is just one of them, holding satsang, so we can help you shine your light of awareness on the things that keep coming up in your life that you automatically give your attention to. Oh, I'm just thinking that. And it just takes us down yet another, I feel lonely. That thought, following that thought alone, I feel lonely, can lead us down months, years of heartbreak. When holding satsang, if a person feels lonely and they don't want to react from that strong emotion and we hold satsang instead, it diverts, literally like they're showing me puts that person on a different track, which is a different train of thought. You are just so clever, ancients. It's so beautiful what they show me, how they speak to me. It's just so clear now, and it can be clear for everybody. It's just it's a perk of being in our natural state of being. For me, it's been a perk since I've, all along the way, for at least for the last, I've had them with me for a really, really long time. I don't remember exactly when I started hearing my guides, but I knew it was a whole bunch of them, but I used to see them as Native Americans, specifically Native American men chiefs. And they've told me over the years that I perceived them to be that way because I perceived a lot of security in a group of Native American chiefs. That more than likely has something to do with one of my last lives. I have always felt super deeply connected to Native American heritage. So as time went by, I was sitting, what year was that then? 2017? More than likely, yes. Sitting in my twin soul's truck, and I said, I just don't feel like I should call them the grandfathers anymore, because even though I do perceive them as male predominantly, there are female guides there also. And he said, why don't you ask them what their name is? And I mean, that was just took my breath away, because people didn't ask me questions like that in 2017 at all. But my twin soul did, and he didn't seem like the type that would ask me those type of questions. But it was, yeah. So I was just like, oh, okay, that's such a good idea. I will. And we closed our eyes. I closed my eyes. I think that he closed his eyes, and I said, what should I call you? And I don't know how long it took. I have no idea. Minutes, maybe seconds, 20 seconds. I don't know how long. It felt like a long time. I was still really, really practicing releasing the flurry of mind activity when I would ask the ancients a question and listen. Trying not to go with any of the thoughts that were coming in. And so I was still practicing that. And so I waited as long as it took for it to just be silent and no thought. And in came, we are the ancients. And I was just like, oh my gosh. He was just like, what they say? And just that alone, just him believing so much and knowing, like, his belief in the ancients was from day one. It was really amazing. It was one thing that gave away that he was my twin soul. And I turned and looked at him and I said, they said, we are the ancients. And he was just like, oh, and we both I know I was crying, and he got choked up. Like, he could not help but get choked up around me. And he was 6'5". He was a businessman. He was just like, there's no way that he was going to be getting choked up and crying over shit. But yeah, he certainly did with me. And the first time I actually sensed it from him was, we were messaging. It was shortly after work. I didn't message him into the night. He had just dropped me off, and I got home, and we were at work. We were talking about how cute we were when we were really little, and I had my mom send me a picture of myself when I was like 5, and I had a little page boy haircut, and my nose was really, like, really, what do you call that? Pug. And pug, like a little pug. Is that why he called me Frank? Is that why you called me Frank? I'm talking to my twin soul. He used to call me Frank after the dog in Men in Black, the one that wore the little tuxedo. Anyway, he said pugs are adorable. He's saying pugs are so adorable, and it was my attitude and my personality. That's why he wasn't making fun of me. Okay, he said I wasn't making fun of your nose. He would never do that. No way. So, so what were we talking about? You didn't rudely interrupt either before you came in, though. Yeah, so the ancients. So why was I telling them the story about how we got your name? Well, anybody can learn how to hear their guides, and it's really based on how much our perception of who our guides are has so much to do with how much of a, like, what level of security we feel we need from them. I'm not sure who I believe my specific spirit guide is Sam. He's a Native American that came into my experience from the astral in about 1996, I believe. That was my first guide that I got to contact. A woman had come into my life, and she taught me how to do it. I was like a duck to water, they're saying. I wanted it so badly that, the biggest hurdle that I had being able to hear any of my guides was just the resistance that I created, just wanting it so desperately bad. I had to really learn how to relax about it. But Sam also came to me in a dream, and that really let me know that I was on the right track. I used to have a safe space that I would go to in my mind, and before I realized that I could even hear my guides and stuff, I knew I was just starting to feel like I had made contact with Sam, and then I had that dream, and so one of my therapists suggested that I make a safe space in my mind, and I wasn't a meditator back then because I had tried very briefly. I mean, just like for minutes, I tried meditating, but my mind was, it made it worse. It made it seem like it was more active, and that just scared me really bad. But later on, after my remembering experience, I was forced to learn how to meditate and stick with it and push past that. See, that's the lower forces, they're saying, that keep us from ascending. Is I stopped at that just a few minutes in meditating. For so many years I didn't meditate because it scared me, because I just said it. I'm repeating myself again, but that's all right. Because and I would just immediately, nope, 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 it's making my mind way too active. But I pushed past that, and just out into the pristineness of it all. It's like I don't have a better word. This is what's coming in. They're really showing me it's a lot like the baby pushing past the membrane to come to earth, to come onto the earth plane. And there are many, many levels that we have to push through, but not with resistance. Pushing as far as letting the natural evolution of things take place. I think that's it for now. Do you want to loop me back to anything I may have forgotten? Yeah, should I pick anything up? Yeah, so thank you. So don't beat yourself up for it, but if you see yourself saying, "Oh, I wish such and such would pay me attention," do you really wish that some such and such would pay attention to you? Just think back. Yeah, just think back a little ways, and why you're actually not talking right now, and then all I need to do from now on, when I notice myself thinking those things, the ancients intercepted very, very quickly anyway, and now I will see it for what it is. It's just more of the old useless personal identity, shrugging off, because myself, who I am now, after all of this unburying of the useless, the unnecessary conditioning. It's just it's Mama G. That's who's coming through this physical form now, and I would never, it would never cross my mind. The thoughts, they may come in still, but I don't, it's just not even in my experience anymore to even consider entertaining thoughts about why somebody that has been mean to me, why they don't like me, or why they don't smile at me. No, I don't waste my time. I don't waste my time anymore. I don't even waste my time disliking him. The thing that, I mean, and this was a soul contract, I believe, and they are reiterating that anybody that has been in my life that has really seemed to cause trouble, they are a soulmate of mine. Because what I ultimately learned from my interaction with this man is, well, to trust the words that are coming out of my mouth when I say he is beautiful, but he is trouble, and to go with that and to not even entertain it. That's my life now. And also, what's the also, ancients? I learned that when I interact with him now, it's just incredibly brief, not on the phone. But the reason that it was still bothering me to interact with him at all, really, was because I wasn't just being myself. And myself is to be nice to people. Yeah, I don't have to be mean to him because I used to let him be mean to me. Yeah, he can't hurt me anymore. So why wouldn't I be nice to him? I don't have his life. I can't even imagine having his life, but he chose that life for his soul's ascension. The soul is definitely different than, I'll have to ask you guys that in another video, what the difference is, and I know I've heard it from other people, what the difference is between our soul, our essence, and all that is. Because that's who we fundamentally are. Oh, thank you. Also, I was showing last night in meditation, I don't know, was it a dream or meditation? Because I don't usually talk to people in meditation. Must have been a dream. No, I was still awake though. They showed me like us, you know, the saying where they say we are the expression like a wave on the ocean, and then we are one with the ocean again. I said, well, what about the forest? I want to be one with the forest. Like what does that look like as far as being an expression like a wave in the woods? What did you guys show me? They showed me, well, the trees, they remind me so much of like an earth wave. They have taught me so much about being present, being in my natural state of being. I used to just hold on to them and cry and say, I know you know. I know you know. Why does it feel like there's plexiglass in between myself and you and nature and everybody else? And it was because I was seeing through my eyes from the mind instead of from the conditioned mind, they're pointing out, because recently I realized that the mind is presence. So, but they showed me as this physical form, of course, in the forest, running around in the woods, just on the earth. I mean, I'm surrounded by trees right now, and I am the wave in the forest. Yeah, and then when I dropped this space suit, because we couldn't move around the earth, we wouldn't be able to breathe without this spacesuit. And once we drop this spacesuit, once it's time to go back home, then it will return to the earth, just like waves return to the ocean. Also, when I'm meditating, many times a day, I close my eyes and just go right in. just go right in, because that's where we already are. But just, I can just drop all thinking and just be so rooted in presence. What was our point about that? And I don't feel like I have a body anymore. I feel like my body just melts in with like the wind, and because that's really the closest thing we could get to. What did I hear the other day? When you throw paint into the air, it doesn't color the air. It doesn't color the wind. Maybe tiny, teeny, tiny particles, but we can't see it. And that is like the closest outward manifestation of presence to me that there is. And what is moving the air around to create wind? Like originally, where does that breath start? I've been asking these questions since I was a kid. In one way or another. They've just gotten a little bit deeper. I don't know, but thank goodness the questions are endless, and so are the answers, they're saying. So I think that's it for now. Is that it for now, ancients? So I will starve any thoughts when I'm recording videos now around forgetting or repeating myself. Those are going down now, and so are any thoughts. So let the shedding continue around entertaining any thoughts around a man that is no good for me. Yeah, but it's just so beautiful though, because it just, there's no end to fine tuning how beautiful our experience can be on this planet. I just keep wiggling the table, and that's probably wiggling the camera. So, and starving all the thoughts is the name of the game. And it is not impossible, even if it feels like it. It is not impossible. I am living proof. My tummy's growling. Ancients, what are we having for dinner? I've really been craving white rice, like jasmine white rice. I have some butternut squash already made, and I don't know. Oh, I have refried beans, and I have tortillas and veggie cheese. Oh yeah, I have some chicken tenderloins. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. I'm starving. Just now. All right, well, that's it for now. satsangwithmamaji@gmail.com. Is that it for now, ancients? Yes. Oh, yes, I had it. Thank you. I had a friend message me. No, friend request me. And I don't know when I got it, but I noticed it. I think it was just a couple days ago. And I said, should I respond to this? How should I respond to this friend request? And they said, go ahead, accept it. Nobody can come into your life now and knock you off your beam. You are your beam. And I was just like, okay. And I accepted it, and it was so funny how the flurry of thought activity kicked up around her, and my twin soul still had a physical form when I met her. And we became fast friends, and we were so close for like I think about a year, like super close. And she moved to Hawaii, and our tower fell right before she moved to Hawaii, or during that time or whatever. And I mean, I saw the last picture of us together, and I looked 10, 15, or 20 years older than I do right now. I swear that I have allergies this year, and I have never had allergies, and I'm really sympathizing with people that do, because my nose is stuffy and itchy, and my eyes are just, I use Visine, and they're just still burning. And I've never had that. Even using medical marijuana, I could put Visine in or Rotos, and they just felt so much better. But and I'm super super balanced. I have been for the whole time I've been. Actually, no, I got a little off balance with medical marijuana since I've been using it again. But I saw that within 2 days, I saw that I was getting off balance with it, and no, the mental activity around it is super calm. Yeah, it's really cool. It's working out really well. I feel like for things within reason, of course, it doesn't really matter what I do. It's as long as I am balanced. As long as I am balanced, and that goes for men too. I was very off balance with this beautiful man that I. He's a beautiful being. He's physically beautiful, but he has some challenges. Um, he definitely has some challenges, and why are we mentioning him again? Oh, because I just called him beautiful. Why am I talking about him again? Why aren't I starving all thoughts about him? I don't know, but I just need to go eat. So I don't know what I was just going to say, but no. I'm starving all thoughts of him. No, they're saying you can't do that as if it's a lesson. Yeah, if it's a lesson, then you can talk about it. But if it's useless, yeah, I was just talking about how red my eyes have been, and then I started talking about him, that he's beautiful. I don't know. I don't. It's all right. I gotta go eat now. I thought I was hypoglycemic for a really, really long time, but I just have an incredibly balance. We're talking about balance. I have an incredibly high metabolism. Shocking, huh? Yeah, I love it. It's wonderful. If I feel like I've gained too much, then I don't have to go through this up and down anymore either. I'm not having an anorexic relapse again. Nope, I'm through that. And also, so in the last couple months, I've been gaining weight because I did have a bit of a relapse, and so I overshot my mark. And so now I am actually, and I decided to stop weighing. I have no business being on a scale ever. I'm going by how I feel, and I feel really, really good. I feel incredibly healthy, and I am watching any of those thoughts that come in and tell me that I should have a flat stomach. Yeah, because I am working out every other day. I'm doing a full body workout, and I stretch every single day. I am doing a 30-day challenge, and I'm on day 7 right now doing my stretches, 7 essential stretches by Mad Fit, and I can't even believe it. I can't believe how much easier it is to get out of bed in the morning. It's absolutely amazing. My posture is even better than it has been too. So I can't wait to see how I feel after a whole month. I feel that I will be hooked. I already am. So yeah, are you going to tell me why we were talking about him again? I don't have to speak badly about him. I can just be myself and see the good in him, and not have to have my guard up around him and treat him a certain icky way to keep him at bay. No, I can, for lack of a better word, love him. It's an agape love, of course, and that's just by being myself. And so when I see him, I smile at him genuinely. And now when I smile at him and he grimaces at me, now I can just laugh to myself and see out on the peripheral those thoughts that have come in, and they say, why doesn't he like me? satsangwithmamaji at gmail.com. We love you so much.